What up, Ho Biscuits? It's your girl Skitten, back at it again. As I've been talking about lately in my videos, and hopefully Chavez has been talking about in his videos, I'm getting married, I'm getting married, I'm getting married, I'm getting married. The wedding date is coming up, so I'm here just chugging along, trying to make sure that you guys are gonna have content for that time. Because when your girl is married, when I'm wifed up, bitch, I'm not finna be working. That's a lie, because I can't not do things for long periods of time. So we'll see how this actually works out. But anyways, I'm here to see some real life crazy significant others share their cringe stories about, oh, thank you.
It's tea. I
appreciate you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I'll be back in a minute.
It's very hot. I can't drink this. But, you know, I'll forget about it for 2 hours and then it'll be too cold to drink, but the perfect temperature, because, I mean, I'm the one who forgot about it. But anyway, here to see crazy significant others share the time when they realized they were the crazy ones. I've had a couple of times where I've realized, where I've just been like, I still just get so embarrassed sometimes about how I've acted about dudes that I liked, you know? I don't have any real cringe moments with Chavez, I don't think. Not like I was cringing over. He might have been cringing internally, but he never said anything to me, so who's the loser there? But yeah, there's this guy that I used to really like, and I found out everything I could about him, and I found out his birthday. And at the time I wasn't allowed to talk to boys, so you know, I decided to bake a cake for his birthday, but I couldn't tell my mom that I was baking the cake for his birthday, so I told her I was doing it for class or some shit. And I baked this cake. It was a double layer cake with frosting in the middle and frosting on top and everything. I also brought him a jar of frosting because he said he likes to eat frosting because that's a healthy adult decision. And I brought the cake, and then I had the cake with me and he was there, and I realized when I brought the cake that I had found out his birthday, but I hadn't asked him about his birthday. So he was I found out from other people. And so he was very confused about why I was bringing him this cake. And he was just how did you know it was my birthday? And I was oh, so-and-so told me. And he was just okay. Cause he didn't know me. He knew I existed, but he didn't know me. And I had put a lot of effort into that cake. And I was just there was this girl there that he was apparently talking to. I didn't know, and so she was really uncomfortable. And I was 16 and he was 18 or 19 or something like that. So he was a grown, so it's just this little girl giving this grown man a cake for his birthday, and I felt very shameful about it. I was very embarrassed. So not crazy, but definitely just so let's see what these people have to say.
Boy, girlfriend, what did you do? What caused your clarity about how nutso you were? When I made a fake Facebook to try to flirt with my girlfriend to see if I could trust her, nothing really caused the clarity, just kind of one of those, what the duck am I doing moments. I was really in love with this girl I dated for 3 years.
Okay.
Really. I wanted nothing with anyone else. I never showed these feelings, except for maybe a few times, and was always a bit distant because I felt like I would seem like the crazy clingy person, and she would leave me. I wasn't being the knight in shining armor I wanted to be to her, because I was scared. After a while she decided I wasn't the one for her, because I was too distant after so long, and she left me.
Oh wow.
Afterwards, I started doing everything I had always wanted to do, like leaving her little notes and having flowers for her at home, and just every little thing I could do to show her that she really was my whole world.
But if you do that after we break up, that's just creepy. You're just stalking me now. Why would I don't understand. I don't understand why people equivalate, what the fuck is equivalating? Why people equate showing affection to being like, people are like, oh, if I show affection, then people will think like I'm crazy. Like, no, human beings crave affection unless they're, you know, sociopaths. Like, they crave that, so show it. If you care about somebody, if you like somebody, show them. Like, I hate this.
Which turns out is what she wanted the whole time. But it was too late, and she was no longer in love with me, so it just looked like I was the crazy guy I never wanted to be in the first place.
Yeah.
And it drove her even further away.
Get the fuck off me.
This was 3 weeks ago. I'm terribly depressed about it. TLDR, be who you want to be with someone. Don't be scared of what they might think.
I mean, maybe be
If
a little
really
scared
gets
of what they might
rejected,
think.
then it's not meant to be. Got paranoid.
Like, if you're somebody who eats their toe cheese, maybe don't be that person. Just saying.
Wait. Figured out a voicemail passcode. Listened to a voicemail of a guy telling her that he'll miss her over the weekend and loves her. I confronted her about it and she denied it. I played it for her and suddenly realized it was me from a couple years earlier. She had saved it because it was sweet. Ah. Oh snap.
Yikes.
Honestly didn't see that coming.
Yikes.
Jesus Christ, guys. This was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yikes.
My behavior got way more douchey, and then it got dark. There was the whole shit when after we broke up and I went to Walgreens, bought some poster board, went to her work with this gay ass sign I made. All I remember from the sign is that one part of it read, I might not have lots of money. Next to the word money I glued dollar bills. It was a, you're my everything and nothing else matters but our love, type of theme. I actually thought it would make for an embraceable moment.
That's just awkward and
Dummy.
cringy.
Towards the end, I told her I was going to join the army, because I thought it would make for a moment when she'd realized how much she loved me. It was some pathetic test I made up.
Why?
I actually went to a recruitment office and grabbed some marketing flyers. I ran out when the guy behind the counter noticed me. I showed her the flyers so she'd think I was serious. Shit got worse and worse. Seriously, what the duck was I
Sir,
thinking?
did you go to
I'm
therapy?
going to have to delete my account soon.
Go to therapy.
Internet.
Hey, if you find yourself going to those lengths, go to therapy. Or something. Do like, ugh. I'm glad that like he figured out that like he was going down like a dark path. But it's so shitty. I feel like when people try to manipulate their significant others into like proving that they love them. Like, if what I'm doing for you already doesn't show you, then we need to have a healthy conversation about that. But don't try to manipulate me into showing that I care about you. Like, that's not the wave.
High school sweetheart, with all the dysfunction that comes with that. We were very off and on for about 5 years. When we were off, I would drive by his work, a fast food place, to see if he was working. But the worst, we were supposed to meet at an ice cream parlor in town. I got there after him, and he was sitting at a table with a girl I knew by reputation only, and it wasn't a good one. Remember, this was 30 years ago. I've outgrown this attitude. I reversed the car and left without going in, because
so
I
cute.
was so offended that he was sitting with this girl. He called my house. I refused his calls. Completely cut him off with zero explanation. Months later, back from college, I bumped into him at a party. She was there too. He said, "What happened to you? I wanted to introduce you to my sister, the girl with the bad reputation." Yeah, I was an idiot. We kept trying for another year or so, but I could never let go of the fact that I was that stupid and judgmental. When my first girlfriend abruptly dumped me, I was shattered. She did not remember that she gave me a key when I dog sat her dog, while she was in a Wally
No,
with her
you
parents.
didn't.
So,
No,
after the
you
breakup,
didn't.
I slept under her
No,
bed for a whole
you
month
didn't.
to see if she would bring anyone else to bed. Finally, she brought home her ex-boyfriend,
Are you
and as soon
kidding
as I heard their
me?
voices out, I slowly rolled out from underneath, slowly, so as not to startle anyone, and started moaning, "This is wrong. This is wrong."
What?
The guy kicked my ass, I called the cops on him for assaulting me.
What?
And the cop arrested me for trespassing and stalking. A few days later, I was waiting on her porch, waiting for her to get home.
Sir!
And she came home again with him. I had a can of Raid with me in case he tried to attack me again. But they talked to me and told me I was being unreasonable and that she didn't want to see me anymore. She just said, "You're being crazy," 3 times in a row, and then it sunk in. I was acting a little obsessive.
Maybe a little bit, sir?
I was burying her alive in the graveyard because I foolishly thought it was the only way to end the relationship, and she just kept shouting, "You're crazy." But I didn't pay any attention to it. But a couple of days later I realized something. I've never had a girlfriend. I'm still too scared to go find out who the hell it was that I buried out there.
Fake news.
I had one moment after high school where I realized I was kind of a nutcase. I dated one guy through my junior and senior year, and for a little bit in college. We moved in together before the split, along with 2 of our other friends.
Bad idea.
When we broke up, we were still sharing a room.
Awful idea.
We had separate beds, but it was the most uncomfortable thing in the world. We were still sleeping together and going out on dates, but we were also seeing other people. He started getting phone calls from this girl he met at a concert. This was before social networking was a big thing, so even though I knew her name, I couldn't really get a lot of information on her.
Oh Lord.
I became slightly obsessed. I needed to know what she did, what she looked like, how serious they were. I knew he was taking her out one night, and the movie they were going to.
This is
I
not
showed
going
up,
well.
basically stalked them all night, and then thought about following them out of the theater to see where they
Ma'am.
went. It clicked at that moment that I was being psychotic.
Let it go.
After that I made our breakup a memorial thing, and moved on.
Good. That's good. I feel like being curious about like your significant others or your ex's new plaything or whatever, that was so dismissive, you know, your ex's new significant other. I feel like curiosity and maybe even a little bit of a complex about that. I feel like that's kind of normal, you know what I mean? Like after you spend so much of your life with this person, you know, and you give so much of yourself to somebody, it's always a little bit painful to see them move on, to see them be with somebody new. And you know, you kind of want to be like, well, what does she have that I didn't have? Like, because we didn't work out, like, so what makes them work out when we didn't work out, you know? Like, I feel like people have this tendency to like really turn on themselves in that situation. But when you're at the point where you're like following them around and all of that, that's, yeah. I thought of another, like while I was watching this, I thought of another cringe moment I had. Same guy. That guy is a very long story that eventually I'll tell you guys, maybe. But so that guy, we ended up having a falling out, and so but I knew like where he would hang out and stuff, like on campus, you know, because it was in college. I knew where he would hang out and stuff, and I didn't know his schedule, but it's like pretty, because he always hung out in the same place at the same time, it was pretty easy to figure out his schedule. Not like where he went, but just when he would be in that place that I knew he hung out in. And so I used to do like little drive-bys. I would be like hella dressed up, I would look hella good, and I would walk and I would look and see if he was like in the little game room first, and then if he wasn't in there, I would just go about my business, do my own thing. But if he was in there, I used to always deliberately walk past the window so that he would see me and he would see how good I looked. And it was like every day I made sure that nigga saw me, you know, you're gonna see me. And yeah, I cringe now when I think about it, because it's just really yikes, you know? It's just like a big yikes moment. Thankfully I've grown out of that, but that was bad. That was